advertising industry often turns to science to better understand how brand messaging lands with consumers. Many agencies use tools like emotion reading or facial coding to uncover people's feelings. They promise that emotional responses to adverts, communications, and marketing can be inferred from facial expressions. But is this right? What is the science behind emotions? Way back in the 60s, Paul Ekman and his team traveled the world looking for universal emotions across many cultures. They boiled it down to happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, and disgust. He called it basic emotions theory and hypothesized that these 6 emotions are a fundamental part of our biology, hardwired into our brains. According to this theory, when we encounter a stimulus, say a beautiful sunset, our eyes transmit visual information from the retina to the occipital lobe at the back of our brain. This data gets relayed to the amygdala, which processes and selects from a set of available emotions. It then triggers the hypothalamic pituitary axis, or HPA, and the autonomic nervous system to produce a physiological response in the body. You then start to feel changes, such as an increased heart rate, faster breathing, and maybe even a smile on your face. In other words, emotions happen to you. Although basic emotions theory is still influential today,
science keeps evolving. In the past 60 years, our understanding of emotion has progressed considerably. And this development has major implications for the advertising industry. Now, most scientists don't believe that babies start with a set of emotions. Instead, we're all born with rudimentary bodily signals, pleasant versus unpleasant, activated versus calm. The first 2 are called valence, and the last 2, arousal. Here, processing in the brain is not a simple stimulus-response process. When we encounter a stimulus, like a puppy, the amygdala triggers the HPA and autonomic nervous system to produce a physiological reaction in the body. Specifically, it might produce a pleasant and an activated response, but the amygdala does not generate an emotional state. Instead, the conscious mind observes the body's changes and labels them with that state, like joy or excitement. So, we construct emotions like fear, anger, and disgust, which are all epiphenomena of simpler biological signals. This is known as the Constructivist Model of Emotion, because they're not discrete categories, but instead are built from a set of dimensions, such as valence, or pleasantness, and arousal, how activated you feel. Individuals then consciously label the experience as a particular feeling that critically depends on context. For instance, a rumbling stomach could be a sign of happiness when ordering a fresh-baked loaf, or it could be dread, waiting for a test result. One of the most famous proponents of this view, Professor Lisa Feldman Barrett, describes it this way. Emotions are guesses your brain constructs to link the sensations in your body with what's going on around you in the world, so that you know what to do. What do you feel when looking at these images? Do you smile at the cute polar bears? Or are you sad their environment is disappearing? Does that make you angry? Because emotions are just labels people use to explain their physiological response, there is no valid way to measure what specific emotion an image or video evokes. You might think, well, okay, but why does this matter? The science of emotion doesn't have real-world implications. But many agencies use tools, such as emotion reading or facial coding software, to offer a granular breakdown of emotional responses to advertisements, communications, and marketing campaigns. Creative or strategic decisions based on these outputs are deeply problematic once you realize the emotions being read are based on flawed science. It is possible to get accurate information about how your audience responds to such content by measuring the dimensions of valence and arousal directly. Those results are more valid and far more meaningful than trying to infer specific emotions. But that's a topic for another video.